Welcome to my channel. Welcome to another video. I'm going to call this video "The Enemy of My Enemy is My Friend." This is my reaction video to LovelyTi's interview with Lioness of Judah. So, it took me a while to watch this whole interview because it's over 2 hours long. But I finally got through it. It's been up for a while. I finally got through it. I actually found it to be very interesting. I will say, though, I think Lioness of Judah, I don't really think she was prepared for this interview. This interview kind of is like she's reading questions from the live. So like people in the live are asking questions and she's reading them and asking them to LovelyTi, which is okay, but it's like 2 hours long. I was kind of expecting her to have like her questions first. Like maybe take an hour, ask your questions, and then the next hour, you can ask the questions from the audience, in your live or whatever. I would have found that more interesting considering how much Lioness of Judah drags TashaK, right? So you got somebody on your channel that's gonna be talking about your nemesis, right? So I would think you would have like questions leading into some kind of narrative. But she didn't. She just kind of like asked the questions her live guests were asking. So it turned out okay, though. It wasn't terrible or anything. I actually enjoyed listening to it. I think LovelyTi did a pretty good job in the interview. So I kind of broke the interview into 4 parts, right? So like a quarter of the time, LovelyTi was promoting her stuff, her tea line and her graphics and things like that, which is smart. I don't blame her. I mean, you're not getting paid for this shit, so you may as well get something out of it, right? So she was promoting her stuff. A quarter of the time, she was kind of being ghetto, talking to people in the room she was in instead of like focusing solely on the interview. She kept talking to family and friends that was in the room, A quarter of the time, she was, I guess talking about TashaK and their issues and different things that I guess is public knowledge, addressing those things. And another quarter of the time, I think she spent talking about herself and like her health issues and things like that. It's actually, like I said, it's actually interesting, and I enjoyed watching it and getting through it. But like I said, it's over 2 hours, and it's it took me a little while to complete the whole thing. I would say she painted a pretty good picture of TashaK as being paranoid, narcissistic, and dishonest. If you were the type of person that was invested in TashaK in terms of like, I love her because I love her, then you might come off being very upset with this interview, or it might change your mind about her. Me, it's not going to change my mind about TashaK. I like TashaK. I like what she's doing. And no one's perfect, okay? No one's perfect. And there's 2 sides to every story. Actually, there's 3 sides. There's her side, there's TashaK's side, and then the viewer have their own side because they're going to come to their own conclusion. It really doesn't matter, honestly. For me, I don't really find these so-called beefs, I don't really think they're in the best interest per se of the people involved in the beef, because for me, I don't watch channels necessarily for the people. I watch channels for the content. So if you're a channel and I am watching you, it's because I like your product. It's not because I necessarily like you. I mean, a lot of the people, I like them. Unless you're a horrible person or something, you know what I mean? Like a lot of the people, I like them. But I'm not going to be like shocked if I hear something about them that, is a little off or something like that. It's not going to change my mind. I'm not going to go, man, I'm not going to watch their channel anymore. You know what I mean? Unless it comes out tomorrow like you're an axe murderer or something like that. I mean, I'm not going to stop watching your channel because somebody said something about you, right? If I like your content, because that's what I'm interested in, is people's content. So I think when she was talking about TashaK, I think she did a pretty good job of painting a bad picture of Tasha. But at the same time, I think there were instances where she came off seeming a bit weak and unstable herself. You know what I mean? You can't talk about somebody else. Like, you're talking about someone and you're talking about how their actions affected you. So at some point, you're playing the victim too, right? You know what I mean? If you're saying Tasha is the big bad wolf and the stuff she said and did affected you, then you're playing the victim. And in order to be the victim, you have to appear weak and vulnerable. So, you're kind of hurting yourself as well. Because who wants to come off as being weak and vulnerable? I wouldn't. But, I mean, she has some moments in the interview where she does come off somewhat unstable and weak and vulnerable. From start to finish, she was very animated. She was very animated in this interview. There was more personality in Lovely T in this interview than I have ever seen her have, the kind of energy that she had in this interview. I've never seen her have in any of her videos on her own platform. So she was very animated and, I guess at one point I think she said, one of the reasons she was on there is because she didn't want to address the situation on her platform because she doesn't want to bring that kind of energy to her platform. And if you watch her videos, Lovely T is very reserved in her presentation. I will be honest with you. I don't watch her videos for her personality. I just don't. It's not very lively. It's very calm and relaxed, and she presents what she presents. I watch her channel for her content because she has, I think she presents very good content, and, she's up to date on a lot of, current issues and things like that. So, like I said, I watch her stuff for her content. Like most channels I watch, it's content. It's not necessarily the people, even though a lot of the people I do like. Alright? She was very animated, and to some degree she was acting a fool, but in a good way. Not necessarily, I wouldn't say in a bad way. She was relaxed and, I guess, happy. So, she seemed like she was happy and in a good place, and it showed, which is a good thing. At one point, Lovely T gave some advice as to what she would tell a person starting a new YouTube channel, right? And one of the things she said was, if you start a channel and it's based on drama and attacking other people, then that's the energy you are going to always have to keep people interested in you, which is not good. Now, I think that was a shot at TashaK, because Tasha's energy is up there, and of course she's always dragging people. That's part of her channel. That's part of her content, and people like that. So, but I think that shot was at TashaK, saying, hey, if your channel has a lot of negative energy, then you start out that way. That's what people expect, and that's what you have to keep. But what I noticed in the interview was that when she was saying that, Lioness of Judah got real quiet. She got real quiet because I think she realized that shit applies to her too. Because, hey, her channel is attacking people, right? Isn't she attacking TashaK all the time? So it's the same energy. So the advice would apply to her as well. So she got real quiet on that one. And at another point, Lovely T talked about how people were attacking her because they felt she betrayed TashaK. And they were telling her to kill herself and shit like that. And she was in a low place. She was very depressed. This is the point where I thought she came off seeming very vulnerable and weak. So she was saying, like people were really attacking her, going off on her, telling her to kill herself. Now, I will tell you this. When she was talking at this point, it was like, to me, somewhat shocking and surprising, because I don't really find this YouTube drama that serious. It's entertaining to me. I don't really find it that serious, but I think the point she was trying to make is, like, we see it as being very entertaining, but behind the scenes, there are, like, business things that are happening that is creating problems for them. So from a business standpoint, this beef is affecting them behind the scenes, and people don't get that. So, to some degree, I understood what she was saying, because she was really saying, hey, for you guys, this is all fun and games, but we have to deal with stuff behind the scenes that's affecting our YouTube business, and if you have a business and you're having problems in your business, that's not gonna be fun. So yeah, I guess I understood what she was talking about, even though, I wouldn't feel it, you know what I mean? But if you built this platform, and she's built a great platform, and that platform was being attacked, and it was being attacked from a business perspective, then yeah, I can understand how that would affect you personally on a level that most people wouldn't understand. So I kind of got what she was saying. And that brought me to a point where I thought to myself, you know, look, her and TashaK is in this beef, but honestly, I think this beef they have is benefiting everybody else except them. You know, both their brands. I think both UnwinewithTashaK and LovelyTi's brands, I think both of them actually, they're hurting each other. Everybody else that's talking about them and putting them on their platforms and things like that, they're benefiting. They're getting them on their platforms. They're getting views and things like that. But what are they getting? They're just getting, they're getting their business exposed. They're getting their personalities, exposed. And when one is talking about the other, they're always going to paint a negative picture of each other. So they're hurting their own brand and everybody else is gaining. They're not gaining anything from this. TashaK isn't gaining anything from this beef. LovelyTi isn't gaining anything from this beef. Everybody else is gaining though, because everybody else talking about it is getting views and things like that, right? So, you know, I really don't see the point to them being in this situation. Like, they ought to just get together and say, hey, look, let's just make a pact. You do you, I'm gonna do me, and let's not talk about each other anymore. Let's just do our things and just, hey, you know, we were friends, we're not friends anymore. Let's just part ways amicably and just dead this beef and like, look, I'm not gonna talk about you, you don't talk about me, and we're good. And I think that's what they should do. I don't really see them talking about each other helping themselves in any way, shape, or form. And honestly, I don't think LovelyTi is in a space where she wants to be arguing and beefing and fussing with people. I mean, my goodness, it took her like over 7 months just to address this situation, right? It's like been over 7 months it took her to just even talk about her situation with TashaK. So I don't really think she's the type of person who wants to be out here arguing and fussing about stuff. I think she's more focused on like her business ventures and things like that. She's more business minded, which is a good thing, I think, right? So I don't really see the point of this beef. I think they should just chill out, go on about their business and do their thing and call it a day and let this thing just die out. You know, other people are going to keep pushing it because they're benefiting from it, but if I was them, I wouldn't add my energy to it. If you want to talk about it, go ahead, but I'm not going to add my energy. Not going to come on your platform and talk about it. I'm not going to, you know, put more life into it as soon as it's dying out. I'm not going to jump up and give it life and put something out there and give it life and things like that. But even if something comes out, I wouldn't even address it because you're just adding more life to it. And if you really want it to go away, you don't add life to something that you want to go away. So, you know, it's a good interview. I'll put the link for that interview in my description. And you should check it out. And Lioness of Judah, you need to be more prepared when you get a guest like that on your show. Alright? Have your own questions. Have your own narrative to spin. You've been dragging TashaK all this time. I was expecting you to have some kind of like detailed question leading to a certain perspective or something like that. Not just reading stuff from the people in your life, which wasn't bad. The questions weren't bad, but I kind of expected you to contribute something to the interview, and you kind of didn't. But next time you have a guest on your show, be prepared and have your own narrative, have your own questions to paint the picture you want to paint. That would have been a perfect. You missed a perfectly great opportunity to like drag TashaK even more. I mean, if that's what you want to do, right? You want to drag her and you have her number one enemy on your show and you don't even have your own questions to ask. So you dropped the ball on that one. But hey, the interview still wasn't bad. LovelyTi saved the day. Alright, so that's all I have to say. Feel free to check out the interview and like, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next video. Thank you and have a good day.